What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again. Can we class this as like an emergency stream, late stream? I've never done one of these before. I hope everyone's fine, and it's been a long day. I thought I'd get the panel in, get their opinion on what the hell has been happening today. So I thought I'd get the main three on. Forest fans, how are you feeling about what is happening today? I've been at work. These three, especially this guy down in the corner, has been yapping his mouth all day, mentioning their names. People in chat, tell me who's been gobbing today about what's been happening. If you're new to my channel, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get the panel in first. Who's to start with? We'll start with Dylan. You all right, Dylan? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Just a nice, easy day.
It's like Coronation Street. If you watch it, it's like Coronation Street, but better version, just like the X-rated version. If you see or watch that group, it's just mad. Next up, we've got the Welsh Wizard, Steve. You all right, Steve?
Yeah, I'm fine, Ben. Yeah, just another day being a Forest fan, really. Yeah.
Next up, we've got some Des. You all right, Des? How you doing? You okay? Des. Des Oldham. Fucking hell, he's not talking. Dylan, hey, Des.
What?
Oh, you can hear me now.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
You all disappeared.
Back.
Can you hear us now? You okay? How are you feeling today? You all right?
I can see you.
Are you okay?
I'm feeling. Until about 3 o'clock, I was really looking forward to the bank holiday in Crystal Palace away, and now I feel irritated.
Can we get you last then? Because if you've got a long say, we'll keep you last. Is it okay if Dylan and Steve had their first say? You know, Steve is in Wales, and Steven's like
I don't mind you saving the best till last. Door. I don't mind you saving the best till last.
Yeah,
you had to do it.
Hang on now. What's this all about Wales now? Hang on now. Whoa.
That's a little jab.
I can't use my Anglo friends. Come on now. Keep it friendly, though.
Right, so people, it's gone absolutely. Des says, I was looking forward to Crystal Palace, and someone just threw a grenade. I think Nuno threw that little grenade at everyone and saying, "Listen to me. We're not talking about the mayhem. What's going to happen at Palace? Let me throw my little 10 pence in and see what the hell's happening." So, people, who's starting? Who was starting? Well, Steve, Dylan, Des. Who was starting on this? Who wants to go first? Des, you're going last. Des is going last. Look what he's doing. Des is keeping his mouth shut because he wants to let it rip. Let's go with you, Well, Steve. We'll start with you. What the fuck? What the hell's happening?
I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. We must be the only club who can sign a caliber of player like Douglas Luiz, and then 24 hours later, our manager's almost walking out or getting sacked in a space of 24 hours. It's just mental. I mean, I woke up this morning, obviously I seen the news that obviously Luiz is signed and blah, blah, all the PR behind that, and then next thing then, got into work, and then I think it's about 9:30 I seen these reports, and I saw obviously the group was pinging, and like, what the hell is going on now? And it's just then like I said to you, Dore, before we went on air, that people text me going, what's happening with Nuno? And then this footage came out then of his press conference, and I was like, what the hell? We got like game in 2 days, and like, where's it stem from? And obviously I've had time to think about it now, read more about it during the day, and what you guys have been saying, and all this on the group, and all that kind of thing. I don't know what to make of it, Ben. It's just mental. My own personal opinion about it is, I think it was glimpses of it during pre-season. I've said this as well, is that he was quite quiet during pre-season. I don't know if that was a foreshadowing of what's to come, but I don't know, something obviously been bubbling, and there's rumours that Edu was falling out with him, and I don't know, it's just baffling, like, where this has just come to a head, especially 2 days before, and not even like a game where it doesn't need enough spice. It's going to be spicy enough as it is on Sunday, and you've thrown that into it now. I mean, is Nuno going to be in there with the team? Who knows, Ben? It's just absolute chaos. It's just, I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. I just can't. I mean, I spoke to one of my mates earlier. He spoke Spurs. He's heard, I hate to say it, Des, but he's heard rumours, Big Ange again, the name's been mentioned.
Hey, Steve, don't agitate him, please.
Apparently,
Don't agitate Des. Don't agitate him.
Apparently, Hutchison and Louise is a Big Ange signings, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. There's just rumours being floated about. I don't know. I mean, we can get to names later on if Nuno was to go, but for me, Nuno is the guy who should be taking us forward. But I will say, Ben, for me, I think it's from both sides. I think Nuno and Edu should be put in a room with the big man, just get out in the open and just get on with their jobs and just be grown men.
Before I get to Dylan, I said the chat is going absolutely mental. I'm like, I'll go through. Shout out to our Greek brothers. Where is it? Where is that? Is it somewhere? There it is. This is our Greek brothers. Olympiacos lot didn't want Douglas Luiz, wanted Torre, the baby oil merchant. Get rid, lads. Shout out to the Fair 7 Internationals. Make sure you subscribe to them. They're our little sister group. So make sure everyone subscribe to them lot as well. Here's Gary as well. Even in chat, still looking forward to Palace. I think he is. And Des still looks angry. That's why he's last on the thing. Dylan, are you angry, Dylan, or just how are you feeling, Dylan? You okay?
I'm feeling all right. We're the only, like Steve said, we're the only club can do whatever we do and still end up in the headlines as a shambles at times. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. I've had this. Do you know what I mean? I just think personally, I think Nuno's dropped a bomb. I've been saying this all day. Is that I just think I don't know why you just don't keep it in us. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a personal, internal, should be dealt with inside, not in the media where everything gets blown out of proportion. You know what it's like. One of them farts, and it's a massive thing. I'm along the lines, and I've had these discussions. I'm along the line. I think Nuno's dropped the bomb, and I don't blame the big man for this because he can't control two people not liking each other. Yes, he's employed Edu to do one job. He's employed Nuno to do another job. So one's there. Where's Ross Wilson? Thought he was in between them. Do you know what I mean? If this is the big fallout, like Steve says, put them in a room, get them sorted. Do you know what I mean? No way on earth do I want Nuno to leave because he's worked with the squad. He's done what he's done. It'll just upheaval everyone. You move him out, you get someone else in. You go through the whole thing again. They've got to get used to the players. Do they want the players? They've got to move people on, stuff like that. But I just don't understand. So close to it's only the second game, but it's going to be a massive game because of what's going on for Crystal Palace. I just don't understand why he's come out in public and said it. Do you know what I mean? I've watched the interview and it wasn't really, it was, me and the owners had a relationship last year. This year we haven't. There's other things going off. It's a shame, blah, blah, blah. But what does it achieve? Personally, don't achieve nothing. Keep it in house. Sort it out amongst yourselves. Everyone's gonna, but it's just like a steam train now. It's just running and running. We don't know if he's going to be here. Is he going? Is he staying? What's happening? Do you know what I mean? Listening to the rest of the interview from today, he was quite upbeat with everything. But obviously now it's a steam train going down the hill, and it don't look like there's no brakes to it.
Before
sorry, Ben. Can I just say one quick thing then before that? Pick up Dylan's point there. I blame a lot of this on the journalists and media as well, because the questions they direct at these managers, and they've done it to people like Eddie Howe and people like that about Zach, and they put these managers in a position where if they were like with that today now, when they brought up the whole thing about if Nuno sat there and said nothing and poo-pooed it and just said, can we move on please and change the subject, they would have gone, right, is there something going on here? Or if Nuno had lied and said, yeah, we're fine. We're all rosy, everything's going on. Next thing, week down the line, he gets sacked or goes. Everyone's like, what the hell? So you can partly blame these people who ask these questions. They should, yes, I agree with Dylan saying Nuno should have spoke out, but they got to be held accountable as well. They shouldn't be asking these direct, this like just like stirring the pot. And it just winds me up about journalism. It's just keep your nose out of it. Things should be kept in house, but it just winds me up when they put these managers in a position where they feel they can't get out of it. They can't get out of it. They got to then speak their mind, and then next thing, they're blowing up. Then, oh, Nuno's going to get sacked. Nuno's going to walk. It just winds me up.
You know, it is. Before I get in, I don't know if people's read The Athletic from Daniel Taylor, and again, it's all blown up. And like I said, Jordan's got a job, and like we expect it to when something happens, that's their job in it to write something. Daniel, I've read it. I think himself. Has he left this just the right time for today?
He doesn't. Daniel Taylor, I put this earlier. Daniel Taylor doesn't publish anything positive for me. Every time there's an incident, there's always something going off. Bang, there's an article from him with this long list of everything.
Going off the point, though, guys. We're going off the point and blaming other people.
No. Okay, right. Okay. Before we get there, I just want to read. There's some comments. There's some comments. But where was it? There's one I seen last one from Michael. Whatever people thought about Cooper, he managed to get twice off as well near the end of his tenure. Nuno should be kept in house. He's not looked happy for a few weeks. That came from 7 International. Cheer up, boys. You've got a good squad. Big man. It will be a winner if he pulls off the trigger. P.S. Just imagine being a Spurs fan. That is true. Like I said, they're going fast and first, man, like this. Charles says, all feeling nervous as well. Let's do a poll chat. Nuno gets like yes or no. I think, come on, Des, chip in. All right, then. Here we go. Des, come on, then. What are you saying?
First of all, I don't know why you think I'm so angry. I'm so gutted it's happened. That's what's bothering me, is I'm so pissed off of it because it's an absolute shambles, like you said, Dore. It's a shit show. Why this is happening at the moment, it's not about what a journalist has said. It's not about what Nuno said. It's not about Marinakis. It's not about Edu or Postecoglou being lined up. All that's just rumours. All that's just hearsay. It's just the fact that another week, especially after such a positive week, after a chaotic summer where, as fans, we was up and down. I was massively down over the Morgan Gibbs-White thing, and I feel exactly the same now. After another really positive week, and no matter who said what or whose fault it is, and I'm not. My point to Dylan in the chat earlier was I'm not defending anybody or necessarily having a go at anybody. Ultimately, the book stops with Marinakis. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Marinakis takes all the good that goes on at that football club. So he has to take responsibility for everything, whether that's relationships, whether it's people in between, whether it's journalists asking questions. That's the way it is, because that's the responsibility you take as a leader. That's why he is the winner he is, and he makes the big decisions. And it might be a case of making yet another massive sort of table turning decision almost on what happens at the football club. But that's the worry for me. The worry is what Forest need more than anything, and especially after a positive summer with some absolutely unbelievable business in the transfer market. One of the guys said about going from last night to tonight, we was all wetting ourselves last night over Louise, getting really, really excited. And now, as a fan of the football club, I'm just really, really angry at the fact that we're in this mess again, being dragged through the media, the mud, another embarrassing situation ahead of what we knew was going to be hostile at Crystal Palace. It was always going to be hostile, and all we're doing is feeding them back. And it's not really about that. What all football clubs are bonkers these days, and it's not who's more bonkers than who, but it's the fact that this is our club, and as fans, I think we deserve a little bit of respect in seeing it run properly, run professionally, and whoever's at fault, there's, in this case, Nuno appears to be the one who's been unprofessional. There might be many reasons for that. He might not be able to get his message through. I don't know. I'm making excuses for him there. But there's been other ways where other people at the club have been really, really unprofessional as well. So it's all 6 and 2, 3 stuff, throwing stones in glass houses. What's really, really annoying me and irritating me to the point I can't stop thinking about it. I'm trying to ignore it. I tried to stop the conversation in the group and got back involved. I try not to look at it on the TV or on Twitter.
Yeah, that's your fault. That's more Steve's fault. Sorry about that.
I keep referring back to it, but it's that thing again. Is once again after such a positive week. With so many good, the performance last week was unbelievable. Going into Palace, thinking, right, we're up for this. We're all behind the owner. We're all behind the manager. We're all we've played this victim card all summer, and for the last couple of years that we now win it together. Sod what anyone else thinks about Forest. But once again, within, we fought all oncomers from outside. And we've sort of hardened up to the fact that if we want to win, if we want to be successful, this is what we've got to do. All of a sudden, we're fighting ourselves. And it's unreal. Where in God's earth has this come from? And that's what's really, really frustrating me now, because all I wanted to do, it's not about me, but I'm sure most of us just wanted to finish work today, look forward to the bank holiday, look forward to the weekend at Palace, give them some back, hopefully take the 3 points and then go and thrash West Ham next week. And now all I see is all this nonsense. West Ham are playing. I see loads of Forest fans giving it them, and I think, worry about what's going on at our club, because I'm watching it and I'm just staring through it thinking, Jesus Christ, right? If we were watching that and we hadn't had this and we went into Palace positive and then we come back to play them next week, we could be 9 from 9 or 7 from 9, really excited. And now what worries me more than anything, because the likelihood is he's probably going to go, whether it's...
Do you want to... Des, do you want him to go? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not. But that's the point coming to Dore. So he's likely to go, because whether it's this or a bad run of form, at some point he's going to go now. His first bad run of form will be out the door, because it seems, even if they get through these couple of weeks, which I don't really see happening, I don't really see it getting through the weekend. But I might be wrong. I've been wrong before on such things. What really, really bothers me, and what I was trying to get across to the guys in the WhatsApp group, was it's not about Nuno, it's not about Marinakis, it's about the stability of the football club and the upheaval it will cause right at the start of a new season. If this was halfway through the season and we was performing badly, it might be just what's needed to G the players up to get things going. What it suggests to me to some degree is the players will probably know about this, and last week the performance was probably for Nuno. Probably some of that was in playing for the manager, because they do believe in him. They've believed in him for a long, long time, and they've bought into his tactics. So again, what worries me is the fact that if Nuno comes out, you're not just saying, let's bring the new manager in. This is for the stupid football fan of today, if they think you just bring in a new manager and carry on. Right? It doesn't happen. Look at what happens at Tottenham all the time. They turn over manager. It don't just happen like that. We've been on this upward curve. Cooper took us so far. Since before Cooper, when we had that instability of managers, he took us so far as he could. Nuno come in with questions over him. He's taken us further. We was quite lucky in that transition. But that's what it is sometimes in football. It's not necessarily, it always works like this. Because you see, look at United. Since Fergie left, they just can't get it right. Employing super coach after super coach, because it doesn't just affect picking a new team, or it's the new signings who has come in. Some of them won't be wanted by a new manager. It's the players in the team. It's how the players might then drop down tools because it is a new manager. All those players, whether they're Nuno signings or not, they signed for Forest knowing Nuno was the manager. Now they might think, well, I'm not going to play for this new guy because he didn't sign me, or I am going to play for this guy. I'm not saying they're unprofessional, but there's always that little bit of feeling in these things because that's how football works, and it could be a massive destabilizer, and I think they're taking a massive gamble. Nuno, Marinakis, Edu, whoever, they're taking a gamble with our football club, and that's what annoys me as a fan. It's not so much who's at fault, and it's not so much of the rumours. We don't just move, we're not these fly-by-night channels who talk about this and get hyper about that and this. We try and get to the crux of it and understand why things happen.
Mm.
And what will really happen here is it destabilizes everything. All that positivity goes. Like a new manager comes in and half the fan base, like it was with Nuno, is on his case. Half of them are not. I don't want any manager to leave. I got a load of abuse when I didn't want Cooper to leave because, we were Cooper happy clappers. No, because what I see is the trend in football. Why have Brentford done so well? Because they kept Thomas Frank for so long. Didn't always do well. They didn't always perform at the right end of the Premier League. Look what happens when he's left. The whole club starts falling away. And it's the classic example right now. Players decide, he's gone, I'm going. Doesn't say much when your manager leaves. As much as the manager probably doesn't have the respect they used to have, when your manager leaves, it's almost like, well, everybody leaves in the end, kind of thing. And this is my fear, that everything that we've built over the last couple of years, and they've had some tough times. That old Leicester incident, it wasn't as it was all transmitted into the press. It was plain for everyone to see, but they got through it. And I just think now, if I am talking about Nuno, and I'll pass on again in a minute, but if I am talking about Nuno, I think he's probably been that frustrated because he's quite a pragmatic guy. Doesn't say too much. He knows how to work the media. And just to sort of, I'm not disagreeing with Steve. I get how they angle in and try and poke and prod, but that's what they do. Nuno knows how to land that, and he'll come out with the lines and all these things. He's actually making a point, and if he's making a point, he obviously feels strongly about the point he's making. And that's what's really, really, really worrying for me now, because that's where I don't see a reconciliation, because I think he's almost played the owner at his own game in shouting loud enough to get his own way.
100%. Before I get even still, Dylan, please do hit the like button, subscribe to me. We've got over 100 people on, so thank you very much for this late stream as well. And Dylan, you're not taking the credit for that, Dylan. Before you do, Dylan, he always does. Steve, do you echo what Des says?
Yeah, it made some good points. One thing I will say.
No, why can't you just say no? Just have a little fight with him or something. Someone fight with Des.
No,
I don't know people in the chat. Stop agreeing with Des, man. Just say something. Just take it. And you, Dylan, go on. Say something.
My only thing I would nitpick at Nuno's interview today is, to a lot of Forest fans, but also outsiders, it did come across slightly ungrateful in the sentence when he said about, well, did he touch on the fact that, with the signings and so on being prepared? Now, he's had 140 million spent on that squad in the last week. Now, there'd be many clubs in the Premier League be crying out for that kind of money being spent on their squad. So I think that's the only nitpick I'll pick up that interview, where he did come across a bit, and this is where I think Dylan touched on it earlier. I think maybe that's where he went wrong in presenting that across, where it sounded a bit ungrateful to me. Now, in this day and age, growing up, right, when I was through the night, late mid-90s, late 90s, early noughties, I don't recall seeing many head coaches titles, right? Football has slightly changed now. Now, I'd love to know the in-depth where, how much you're in. Now, Nuno's a head coach, if I'm quoted right.
Yeah.
He's a head coach, okay? His title. Now, do they get given these titles and they get told, we will implement a squad for you and players, you coach them? Now, how much say does Nuno, because he's not a manager, he's a head coach, and Steve Cooper was a head coach, how much say? So with this Douglas Luiz thing, if he's saying, I wanted Adama Traore, I didn't get him, I don't want Luiz, does he have that say, being he's not a manager? Because he's given the players to implement the coaching style and coach them. So in that regards, he is he is spitting his dummy up as well in regard he doesn't want Louise, but he wanted Traore, so he's not getting what he wants. But then, so that, to me, that head coach manager title is a bit of a grey area this day and age, because how many times over the years as well, we've seen other coaches being nose out the joint and stuff because they've been given the players they don't want and so on. Like, there's a player came on for Chelsea tonight now. We signed him, Santos. Cooper didn't even play him. Remember, we signed him. Cooper didn't want him. And we never gave him a chance. And now he's playing for Chelsea. So, clearly he didn't see nothing in him. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, for me, I don't know if any of you can clean that up, but with this head coach manager thing, it's like, to me, sometimes you just got to be given the players and coach them. That is your job. That's just my input on that. It's just, for me, Nuno just came across a bit. Oh, I've been given a really good player here, but because I didn't want to
get a top player.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Because to me, you telling me now, if you went to the other 19 managers in that league, they'd probably take Douglas Luiz. But that's my opinion.
Dylan, do you think yes or no on it, Dylan?
I agree. There's parts of all of it I agree with. There's parts of it I don't. It's with the coaching situation is if you look at the layout of the way it is, you've got Nuno as head coach, then you've got Ross Wilson, then you've got Edu now. Do you know what I mean? So Ross Wilson and Edu, you kind of get the feeling of right, they're the ones that go out and scout, listen to the scouts, go and get the players, give a bag like just a load of players to Nuno and say, look, these are the players. We've tried to improve the squad. You've told us the positions you want. Here's the players. Coach them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, surely earlier on in pre-season when all this, no signings were coming in and he was very unhappy, surely someone spoke to him to say, look, hang fire. Something's happening down the line. Let's get, do you know what I mean? Just hang on a minute because we need to see what European competition, considering what kind of caliber of player we can get, and vice versa. Just give it, do you know what I mean? And that was why I was, over that interview, I was like, really, this was the only thing that's bugged me is, like Des says, there's enough noise going around the club with everything else that's gone on with the Leicester stuff and everything. And Nuno's had to shield the players from it. And if he is frustrated, I get it. Do you know what I mean? Talk to your boss. Go and talk to someone else. But putting it out in the media, it just seems to me a bit of career suicide because it's like, I'm putting it out in the media. I'm going to shout. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You do what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? They don't seem to be this. To me, there's an end game somewhere. Is he doing it because he wants it to? He's not, like Des said, he's not being listened to. So he's trying to shout out in the media for the owner to go, hold on a minute. All right, fair enough. He's not happy. Let's get him in a room. Let's sort it all out. But nowadays, he's kind of upset the apple cart and gone to the media and said it out in public. Now, probably Marinakis is like, whoa, hold on a minute. We don't do that. Do you know what I mean?
The thing about this head coach thing, though, what Steve's talking about, look, essentially everybody's the manager. Yes, it's labelled up in different ways because clubs have a structure. But the reason why there's a breakdown here, let's make no bones about it, is normally the person who does Edu's role is almost selected or associated with the manager or the head coach. He's normally mates with him or someone he knows, and they're aligned on players. You know, they're normally connected, and that's why whenever this happens, it's normally when the owner has brought in a director of football or whatever his title is, or a director of operations, or however you badge it up. He's there basically to talk people like Douglas Luiz into signing for Forest, and the relationship normally is between the manager and that person, and that's where it works really, really well. Why, when it doesn't work well, is when the owner's brought one in and says, you two will work together. You know, that's his prerogative. I'm not having a go at the owner for that. But it said you two will work together, but that's where you always find, because this isn't the first time this has happened. This happens quite often if you look back over time. It's when the owners put the person in place and said, you two will get on and you two will agree on players and you two will do this. And then they go, well, I've got my ideas and I've got my ideas. Or he says, you're the head coach and he says, I'm the manager, kind of thing. And that's where the difference of opinion comes. So the structure doesn't really matter. It's the relationship from the outset that matters. Because if it is one of the managers, mates is the wrong words, but someone he's worked with, someone he knows, they're generally aligned on players already. They'd be of the same mindset on players. Whereas here, you're looking at a very pragmatic person with a very dynamic owner, and then somebody working directly for him in Edu who's going to be out there trying to get the best and the biggest and get us moving at 100 miles an hour. We love that. I'm not criticising that. But you understand the difference in the relationships. As somebody who looks at as a job and as life, who looks at relationships and manages people, it's that one's a pragmatist and one's just a bull in a china shop. And who does Edu actually work for? He works for the owner, doesn't he? So that's where the relationship is breaking down, where he's saying, we'll have Louise at any cost. And it appears to be over that. Again, we don't know any of this. It's all right to say things like, oh, it's players, it's this, it's that. He wants a different manager, he wants Angie, he wants this. We don't know that. All we know is Nuno has said he's unhappy. That is the fact in all of this. The relationships broke down. We don't know why it's broke down. So I've not got myself involved in anything on social media in terms of rumours. And God forbid that Ange one keep coming up because
don't rattle there, wait, don't. Let's.
But that's my point about relationships and what the guys were saying there and how it's sort of how you can see how it's broken down, whether it's right or wrong. You can see why he's probably not happy. But then again, there also has to be that level of professionalism. But at times, the club hasn't shown that level of professionalism that we're now expecting from the manager. I'd love Nuno not to come out and said that, and I'm not defending him now. But then he's seen it in other parts of the club, that unprofessional manner where we've reacted quickly to things, and he's probably just done the same.
I'm just going to go through the people. If you can do a massive favor, and please do hit the like button and subscribe. There's over 100 people in. And like I said, it's fantastic for like a late stream. People like Stephen, he's from Wales. He should be in bed as always. So Dylan, I don't know if Dylan's he's still awake, Dylan. You okay?
Yeah, just.
And I don't know if Des is going for a late run. So yeah, you're fine here. But like I said, people please do hit the like button and subscribe if you can. We've got a massive game on Sunday, people. I don't know if everyone knows we have got a game. So I am doing. I meant to do on the previous show today because all this has happened. It's now tomorrow at 9:00. So please watch out for that. I'm going to go for the messages. Like there's tons going through as well. Let's from comment. People, if you want to be a member, comment, please do. And if any super chats, to just get Des a cup of tea, just to calm him down a little bit. Because I think Dylan and Steve are all right. It's just Des is a bit stressed out about the what's his name? Ange. So people, if anyone wants to just calm Des about it.
His name is the biggest fraud in football.
Yeah, this is what I've done. I just rattled him a little bit. So none is bigger than the club. I hope Nuno stays and we'll see what is being blown out of proportion. Fingers crossed.
And that's exactly the point, Dore. That was the point I was trying to make earlier. That is exactly the point. Well done, that person. I can't see it, but whoever said that, no one is bigger than the club. And just give it a bit of respect.
Yeah. So I'm going to go for this. This is Scott. I'm doing Scott. Cloughie was manager, ran the whole club. They no longer exist. Nuno is to coach and leaves all else to Emma. He's got the most things right since 2017. 100%. Kate says, how are you doing, Kate? As a fan, you should be sure that I might be happy with the chance to win the business. If it cost for Nuno, it's a high price to pay as well. Alan, I hope you and Freddie are all right, my friend. Even in Ben, biggest shock of the win there so far is if Nuno goes. Big and Big and coming in, it would be a disaster. That will I think I'll just send Des over the edge if that happens as well, man. That'd be mad. Oh, and Sean, thank you for being 40 months. That's actually Sean. Can you send me a message? I need to get you on the show. If you can message me on Instagram or email me, I'll get you on the show, and maybe you can replace Des because Des is a bit annoying sometimes. So, Sean, please, if you want to come on, take on loan, swap with Des, please do. Chat for Windows close soon, so that'd be help. Right to the main bit. Right, I've done a poll. Nuno to go, and 22 says yes, 64 says no, 14 says I don't know. And we've talked about it. About was Nuno right to do this? Was he wrong to get Marinakis to listen? Because maybe, like I said, Nuno's got to talk to Edu. Edu's got to talk to Marinakis. And like I think Des said it earlier on, that's part of football now. That is part of football. I'm asking you, Steve. Do you think? What's your opinion on Nuno? Do you think you could just keep him now, or? I'll be in the chat as well. What's everyone thinking?
Let's face fact. He's not going to resign. Managers don't resign anymore because the pay is so big.
He'll get a big pay winner.
He'll get a massive payday. So if he's in the dugout on Sunday, okay, and I'll go back to Des's point earlier. It's a valid point. If they get in a room and talk, I reckon the big man will say to him, right, we've given you the ammunition now. We're backing you. Any bad run he's on, and it's what Des was touching on earlier, I think that's it. He's marked his card now. I think he's marked his own card. I think if he goes on a bad run of, say, 1 win in 8 games, he's done. I don't want him to go, but I think that's what he'd be up against. Because if you remember back to when Cooper, towards the end of Cooper, the similar thing with him. Do you remember we had a vote of confidence, and then the next thing, bang, we got stuffed away at Fulham, and then things started rapidly going downhill, and then we had a good point at Wolves, and then we lost to Spurs at home, and then that was it. He was done. I know it's only 1 game, but what I'm trying to say is his cards were marked. I think Nuno is going down that same route. I don't think he's going to go yet, but I think it just could be a matter of time, because I think there's only 1 winner of this, and it does unfortunately come from the top, and I think the managers pay the price. But again, he won't resign because of the payday. So I'd be interested to see how it goes on. If he starts coming up with more of this, he is looking for that push. And that's what worries me. And that's what Des was trying to touch on. That's what worries me in all this. It doesn't sit well with me at all. It feels a little bit too toxic. And I just don't like that, where we've been on such a high, great signings, and all of a sudden we've just been dealt this. And it's like, really? And it's just like, why? You know, we want momentum. And I mean, Palace fans be rubbing their hands now on Sunday. You know, are we going to turn up with Nuno? I mean, again, sorry, Dan, for bringing up rumours again, but there's been rumours we not even be maybe having Nuno for Sunday. I don't know what the hell's going to go on, what's going to happen. So, for me, Ben, I want to keep him. I want to go forward with him. But if he goes. But let's face fact, he's not going to resign. So, if anything, he gets sacked.
Before I get to them, I want to Gareth to the comment as well. Nuno to stay. Big coach to sack him if you're right. MW wants stability, and then he needs to get everyone in room and clear the talks. And again, I think, guys, I've not seen my piece. I might do a video in the morning about my piece, but that's why I got the main 3 on today's show. I think that. Sorry, Ben. I think the big man would tell him, "You've got to deliver for me this season, or you've got to win me a trophy." He's that ruthless. He will probably tell him that. He'd probably say something like that. Yeah. Right, I'm still like when we brought Edu in, and I think Arsenal fans, I think they were so jolly about Edu coming to Forest, and you got to look at it, right? He's brought in a fantastic player in Douglas Luiz, and we hear, like I said, it's media talk, like Nuno didn't want him. Are you a fan of Edu, Dylan? People in the chat, are you a fan of Edu? What's your opinion, Dylan, on it?
As long as he does his job and he brings in the players and high caliber players and we can get them in, then I don't see the problem. But do you know what I mean? With obviously, I'm not working with him. Obviously, do you know what I mean? Like we've said, Nuno's finding it a bit like Des says. in them kind of positions. Them coaches have always worked with them kind of people. Was it back when Cooper was in charge and we got, what's his name, that American bloke? I forgot his name now.
Which one?
Dave Murphy.
Dave Murphy. Yeah, Dave Murphy.
Yeah, didn't in the end him and Cooper have a fallout, and
Yeah.
Dave Murphy left and all that.
Same relationship dynamic. He wasn't Cooper's man, was he?
No. So, but this is the thing now. This is what I this is what I said in the group chat earlier. I was just like, well, what I'm thinking is Marinakis is trying to put the tools into place to make Forest a success and bigger and bigger. So he thinks that bringing Edu in gives you that next step up to recruit players, to get the bigger players in because of his connection at Arsenal and stuff like that. He can do that. Obviously, Nuno's where he is. I don't want to see Nuno go. Do you know what I mean? Because Nuno is great, but they've got to find a way somewhere along the line. And like, you need consistent. You need to be consistent. You need to be stable. Like Des said earlier, you've got teams out there like a Spurs, like a Man United, just turning over managers all the time, and it does no good. So surely, why the big man gave him a new contract back in June? So there's something there. So surely he's going to sit. He's got to pull him in a room. He's got to find out the solution of why is he like this. Yes, he can be angry to a point of saying to Nuno, "Come on, mate, you shouldn't have spoke out. You should have kept this in the house." And then maybe he'll find out the real reasons and stuff like that. But it's just one of them now. I think it's hopefully if he's in the dugout Sunday, which I believe he probably will be.
Yeah, Dylan, can I just say to him, because Ben Jacobs put a message on his social media about the whole situation, and it says, Friday night, Nuno is expected to take charge of the Nottingham Forest game against Crystal Palace on Sunday. However, his position as manager means safe in what position it is. The reef between Nuno and Edu with the rival of ex-sporting director, but Edu. Basically, like I said, he's more cheesed off with Ahmed Traore situation. It just baffles me. Like I said, we know.
So, sorry, Ben. That being said, then do you go down the route? Then does the big man say, "All right, then we'll give you what you want. If you want to sign him, we'll go back." Because apparently Edu was the one who put the block in for that transfer. So that's the rumours. So the Marinakis say.
But like we say again.
Sorry, Dales, I just quickly said this is what I'm saying earlier about where and what power does Nuno have. If Nuno wants a player, right? If he wants Traore and that's the player he wants, then Edu should be like, okay, I'll go and get that player for you. But clearly he's put a block in. So that's from going back to the title of head coach and the manager thing, where how much power does Nuno have? That's what I'm just saying. That's my point.
So before I go,
sorry, Dylan. I thought Dylan wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry, Dylan. Sorry, I'm just reread this. This is from Dan. Nuno said nothing that was disrespectful about Marinakis. He was respectful about him, actually. This is a storm in the teacup being used to distract attention away from even as well. This from Michael. His position could be untenable now. We need to make decisions that can linger on the won't help anyone. Even if he gets sorted, there will be something else to tip over the edge. And I think I've got Des said it. Sorry, Dylan. What do you want to say?
No, just like we're saying, we're all sitting here. Des is probably the only one who's not going on social media having a look at it. We're all sitting here working off. What I'm trying to say is we're all reading a tweet from Rob Dorset or someone from here and so, I expect this to happen. I expect him in charge. You can 20 minutes later, Nuno, we don't think he will be in charge, or he might be in charge for one. I read one earlier that Andy Reid was taking over. And I'm like, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I think maybe I'm kind of hoping in my weird world that this is all just a smokescreen. There was a comment. I don't know who said a comment about the just a bluff.
Yeah, right. I did say to the group will be half an hour, and I told Walsh Steve will be half an hour. We've gone past the half an hour. I don't want to stay everyone long because, like I said, we're busy and people want to go to bed. I'm asked to the group and people in the chat as well. And it's 88 people have voted. If people, do you want Nuno gone? Yes or no? Put wise or yes or no. Wise at end. Do you want Nuno gone? Yes or no? Or you don't know? I'm gonna ask you, Stig, and I'll go Des. Do you think it's like I said, whatever was happening? Because I was excited going to Sunday's game now, and now I'm not because Palace. It could be a bluff. We could win 7-0.
Do you know what, boy? You know the more the comments are coming up and what Dylan just said as well. Do you know what? It's the timing of this is a bit convenient as well. Just before the game, where Palace fans what they're singing about the owner. You know, we heard the chants last night the way the Palace fans are calling us out, the threats we're having, the whole like we're the bad guys in the media. We did this. You know, we screwed Palace out of Europe. It could be just a smokescreen to deflect. I don't know. It's just the timing of it. It could be. Who believes in conspiracies? It could be the timing of it.
Steve, you're the worst. I can throw you on the best. You're the worst.
It was like his interview last week. The timing of it, and everyone was like, "Oh," before the game, and then we just play like that, and it's like, "Whoa, hold on."
Yeah. And also,
it was Dan. Dan said it. Dan thinks it. Mr. Dan thinks it is a bluff, and he's just trying to. Like everyone said, it's a distraction.
Yeah. But also, didn't he do the interview where he on about the squad, and then a couple of days after, we signed like 4 players? It's just like, I don't know. It could be Nuno mind games. It could be just masterstroke. I don't know. Does anyone know? Only Nuno knows. It's just to me, thinking about it now deeper, it could just be coincidence that this has come up just before a game where we know we're walking into literally the lion's den. We are. They're out for blood on Sunday, so yeah. They are literally out for blood.
Daz, we're gonna. What you Daz? You got anything to say regarding Sunday's game? Because, like I said, we all know it's a massive game with all this Palace situation.
Look, I'll tell you, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I watch
here we go. Join us, well, Steve.
Listen for 2 seconds, for God's sake.
So, see, this is what I'm going to deal with people every single day with Des.
Right. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. I watch stuff on YouTube and I go down rabbit holes of it. If this is a conspiracy, right, brilliant. Let's all hope it is, and it's the biggest distraction tactic they've ever used. They're quite good at it. They're quite good at distraction tactics, and we all know what we're talking about. There's been lots when it comes to certain things. So hope it's a game. I don't think it is. And that was the point I was making. I can be a conspiracy theorist, but if this is, it's a pretty dangerous game they're playing, because they're hanging a lot of people out here to dangerous situations. But I'd love it to be. I'd love them to all come out and do some kind of Mexican wave, holding each other's hand. All 3 of them to the fans at Palace. Right, but it's really not going to happen, is it? Because I think the issue is a bit deeper than that. And it just to reiterate my point before, I haven't said much since I made my initial point. I've let the guys speak. It's just so uncomfortable for us as fans, and it's not anger as such at anybody. It's anger at the situation, and why the hell are we infighting? We have had a lot to deal with. We feel we've been treated unfair in certain situations. We feel like we've got the world against us at times, and Marinakis has built that mindset. So be it. I've almost embraced it. If that's what it takes to win and put everyone down, the likes of Neville chirping in, he's managed to shut him up. He's managed to shut 1 or 2 others up.
He's begging to come back now.
Well, absolutely. So he's silenced them. But the last thing we need to be doing is showing that. Look, it's not it's not strong to show any weaknesses from within. There might be vulnerabilities at the club and situations, but what you don't want to be doing is showing anybody, the weakness from within. And now we are, and I just feel it's gonna. I don't know, because you never know if it does come to a change of manager, you can just take off and go again, a bit like we did with Nuno. But you're taking unnecessary risk. We're on a curve. I look at the teams in the Premier League. We've not had a chance to talk about actual football. You look at signings.
That's tomorrow's show. That's tomorrow's show.
Yeah, but you look at the signings of teams or the players that have left teams. There's only about 3 teams in the league that are strengthened. The big clubs, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea, and Man City. 5 clubs have strengthened. The rest of them are not as good, apart from us, as last season. Aston Villa, they've lost Rashford, Asensio, people like that. They're not as good. Tottenham, not got the players they wanted. You see Palace selling all the best players, Brentford selling all the best players, Bournemouth selling all the best players. We should be going into this season, this week, thinking, yes, it might be hard to cling on to that Champions League spot like we did last season, but we should be above all of those teams now with the players we signed. Douglas Luiz didn't get sold by Aston Villa. He left Aston Villa as a career move, and now he's come back to us. So again, in 12 months, he's made their team weaker and our team better, it seems. And this is why it's so frustrating to watch it all develop on the eve of the weekend, the round. Watch it all develop and unfold in front of our eyes, because I genuinely feel we've got a top 6 spot. I didn't want to really say it, but now we're in this predicament. It doesn't matter what we say, because we don't know what's going to happen. But I feel, apart from those 5 teams, and they've still got to gel, and we've got to gel as well, don't get me wrong, but everybody's weak in the team because the top clubs have gone and pilfered all the best players. We've only had one, and we've managed to replace like for like and improve the squad depth. Exactly what we needed to do. You can't say the same for those other clubs. So that's why it's worrying, because now you'll see, and I have seen 1 or 2 bits floating around. And again, I'm not getting into rumours, but teams like West Ham, teams like Brentford will go, we'll have Nuno in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I've seen a West Ham one. The West Ham's been going a bit. Yeah, West Ham's going strong.
But again, that's going a little bit off the point. But it's those frustrations, because what I did feel was settled, whilst we was always going to be a basket case of a club, because it's the very nature of the way it's run, the way we are, what the journey we've been on. What was always quite tight, and I always felt it has been, even when Cooper and Marinakis didn't necessarily get on, it was all kind of kept behind closed doors to some degree. Again, loads of rumours shooting out about this has happened and this has happened, and he's fell out with him and he's fell out with him, but no one actually knows that stuff. Now, when the manager is coming straight from the horse's mouth, we actually know there's a problem, and that's the worry. Like I say, I'd love it to be a conspiracy, but I just love. They're not going to come out holding hands and doing Mexican waves at the fans and things like that.
Yeah, but Daz, imagine Marinakis after we win, and Marinakis and Nunes hugging each other.
Well, that's what I was going to say. All I really want to see is a nice warm hug after the game, and almost think, whew, they make it. They've done something to try and make this right. And that's the best we can hope for as fans now, is almost to see progress from a shit situation. Because look, whatever way we badge up, however loyal we are to this party or that party or the club or what we think as fans, this is not a good situation. This is why we're on here talking about it on a Friday night when we should all be in bed. It's crap.
We should be in bed.
Another.
Go there.
Sorry. It's just something I thought of. When I watched his interview earlier, and he mentioned about not having the relationship like he did last season. If you look after the comment, after he's made that comment, he's turned around and he said, and they've said why, and he says, "Oh, because of the way it is." And do you think with Edu coming in now, is change that structure where he
Well,
probably
that's
only
exactly what it is, Dylan.
yeah, where we
That's
used to deal with
exactly what it
Ross
is.
Wilson, but now he's dealing with Ross Wilson and Edu. So instead of talking to the owner and Ross Wilson, now he's got to go through Ross Wilson, Edu to get to the owner, and maybe that's just unsettled him a bit to think, well, I can't get to the big man yet because there's that extra person in the way.
Yeah, it goes. But this
I
goes
think you're
back to
on the right line, but we don't know who talks to who, do we? So we don't know whether Ross Wilson's even in the conversation. I think what Nuno signed a contract for 2.5 years. A couple of weeks later, Edu was announced as officially.
But that was the worst kept secret, wasn't it? We knew.
Well, it was the worst kept secret, but it was almost like he signed that contract, and then, like you say, perhaps you work into this structure now. This is the hierarchy. This is who you speak to, or the fact that he was always told he might be kept in the loop, but they're just going ahead and going after Luiz when he thinks Traore is a priority. Do you know? And that's how it is. Look, it happened at Chelsea, didn't it? Roman Abramovich and Jose Mourinho. They didn't want Shevchenko and Ballack, two of the best players in Europe at the time. But it happened there. This is what happens between the manager and an owner. There's that breakdown when these other layers of recruitment come in, and no matter which way we badge it up, and I totally agree with Steve, whether it's head coach or manager or whatever they call them these days, there'll always be the manager who wants to have a say in players, because that's what when they're given the job, when they're given promises, that's what they were told's happening. Because any manager who's going to pick a team, who's going to carry the can for results, is going to want some sort of say on who's in the team. Whether it's the modern way or not, they're going to back themselves and to think, oh, I can have input to who I can get in. And obviously the Adams, it's not the first time we've seen a Forest manager fall out with an owner over a transfer, is it? You know, with Pratley and Whittingham and all those.
Pratley,
all those things in the past. So you're right in what you say. It's the dynamic of the relationship since Edu's come in. We don't quite know the nuts and crannies of it, but it's the fact he hasn't got. Nuno probably thought last year he could pick the phone up and speak to Marinakis. Now he might think, oh God, well he's talking to him, I'm not even going to bother. Or it might have been the other way around. It might have been Marinakis ringing Nuno every day, because that's effectively what he says on the television, isn't it? He says it was good last season, but it's not good this season, and then that's where the journalists start questioning, and our minds start ticking over, going
maybe now we looked into it and and like you say, the journalists have gone, oh, do you know what I mean? We could spin this and turn it, and then obviously we've all cottoned onto it and gone, oh yeah, but then probably Nuno's probably.
But don't blame them, because that's their job, and that's how we get all
exactly. Exactly, but maybe Nuno's got out that press conference. It's all spun, and then maybe Nuno's got on the phone or Marinakis has phoned him and go, "What the hell?" And he's gone, "No, I didn't mean it. I meant it by the structure." Do you know what I mean? Because we don't know. We don't know, because look at like the Leicester thing.
We don't, but what you're forgetting in all this is why it is the journo's job. Because if journos didn't do it,
I know that.
you'd have YouTubers making it up, as they do anyway, who don't have access to managers. Nuno is very, very well trained with the media. He deals with them extremely well. He's a good at deflection. You know, with Colin Fray or with Rob Dorset or with anyone, he can deflect them. And he'll just laugh or he pretends to lose stuff in translation, Nuno. I've watched him do it. But he will know full well, and he's laid the marker down to say, this is Edu, because he said, last season we were fine, this season's we're not. The only difference in that whole thing
is Edu.
And that's why the rumours have now transpired into.
Yeah, but what
everyone believes it's this. We still don't know that. We don't know that for sure, do we?
But like I was saying, is like you can kind of just look at where we're going back to the Leicester situation. Soon as that happened, the whole media, yes, that's the job, but the whole media jumped on this big, this is happening, Nuno should walk, blah, 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 this. And then Nuno come out, 20 minutes, half an hour later, and went, no, it wasn't that. It was this. And then they just kind of went, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's the deflection tactic, Dylan, because Nuno would not have, however much we want to believe in fairy tales, Nuno would not have been happy about that situation on the pitch. They blamed it, they covered it over because that's how they should have dealt with this situation. This is what we're asking them to do now, is keep it in-house. What Nuno did then was keep it in-house. Look, we watched that game of football. We know he was frustrated at what had happened on the pitch, you know, and it got covered up a little with the Tyro thing. You know, good. That's what they should be doing as a club. That's what we're asking. So I'm not going to start rattling too many cages. Say, come on, tell us the truth,
No.
because they've kept that one in-house. So, but you imagine when Nuno did see the reaction of the press, probably even before he saw the reaction of the press, he'd have been fuming to been embarrassed on the pitch, but he probably dealt with it because he felt he had that relationship.
But what's the difference? But what's the difference?
He knows who he works for. He knows the tumultuous nature of the character. But then when other things start interfering, it's like anything, isn't it? People piss you off, upset you, and you deal with it, and you go, oh, that's all right. And then they piss you off again and again, and eventually you say, fuck it. You know, and that's kind of weird. To me, it feels you've got to.
But whereas where you say that Nuno deflected and tried to calm it all down and stop the thingy, what's the difference now? Because he tried to do that to stop the media and everything going at it and making it bigger than it was. But then,
because apart from that situation,
with Nuno dropping a bomb today or last week,
because apart from the Leicester situation, what I imagine, and I don't know, I'm only surmising, is apart from that actual incident on the pitch, he probably felt he had a good working relationship day in, day out. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
And he wanted, he wanted to protect it.
Months, he hasn't had that relationship. So now, when everything's and look, let's look at it in another way, right? Every time there's a signing, we get told how well the chairman's done. Brilliant. We know he's making the signings, but he's out on the pitch with Morgan Gibbs-White. He's doing this, he's doing that. You know, he's getting the accolades. And it just might, whilst he feels he's being ignored or not listened to, it might be grinding on him, you know, week on week, as these signings are getting unveiled and none of them are put down to Nuno and none of them are Nuno's men, you know, none of them are nothing to do with Nuno. And then it's like, if you feel you're being ignored, what do you do in the end? You lash out, don't you? You know, you shouldn't. Nobody should, but we do as people, because that's it. You can only your temper only goes so far. We're human beings, and I think that's what's happened here. That's the difference from the Leicester game. Is he's dealt with it, thinking, well, it's a one-off. You know, I can forgive it. We'll cover it over. We'll get over it. But now, since things have manifested, he probably, in his own head, he'll drag that back up, because that's what we do as humans, isn't it? We start saying, what about that? What about that? And that's where I think now he's starting to fight back.
It wouldn't surprise.
It's not good. It's not good, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Wouldn't surprise me in the next day or so that Marinakis puts a statement out to try and.
He did that.
He does that.
He did that with. He did that with Steve Cooper. Do you remember?
He puts a statement out just to defuse the situation.
Yeah, he did that with Steve Cooper.
To stop it.
I think there's no doubt. I think if the manager stays, there's no doubt a statement comes out.
Yeah, go on, Steve. Before we do wrap up.
Yeah, and let's face fact, you're not going to hear nothing off Edu. Edu's not going to come out with a statement. You're not going to hear it from his side of the story. He's just going to remain, because I've heard reports where he hasn't gone nowhere near the training ground. He's nowhere. I think he's gone to one game. I don't. Did someone say he went to Birmingham? I'm not sure.
He's probably in Brazil.
No, he went to Chesterfield, but
right.
This what Glenn says, who's on this channel. He wasn't happy. I think he wasn't happy for Nuno wasn't happy for that one. So
I just finished up on the Edu thing, and just touch up what the boys are saying is that, yes, Nuno probably, and what Dylan was referring to with the hierarchy, is probably he sees Edu as a bit of a brown noser, maybe a yes man to Marinakis, because he's been implemented by Marinakis. So maybe Nuno's probably thinking, oh, great, I got to get through this guy now to get what I want. Hence the Traore deal, where Edu cut it, no, I'm not going through that deal. Where probably Nuno feels, well, what am I supposed to do? And I can't get the players I want. So that's why he probably has that.
I wouldn't imagine he's a yes man to Marinakis. I'd imagine he's more of an influencer.
Yeah,
he's got a more
Yeah.
influential.
I would
say
imagine
Marinakis.
I would
Because
imagine.
I don't know if you lot know. Sorry to say, what's the guy that ran Tevez and Mascherano? I was reading he's involved as well.
Yeah, he's involved. He's Louise and Hutchins' agent, somewhat along them lines. But what I was going to say is, with the hierarchy, with Nuno saying it's all different, maybe Marinakis has turned around and gone, right, I've got Edu now. You don't come to me. Do you know what I mean? You don't come through me. I'm not going to talk to you.
Edu.
You deal with him, not me, because I'm taking a step back or I'm doing something else or something like that. And then probably that's where Nuno's like, oh, I don't like this. Do you know what I mean? It could be. I think it's more probably along them lines because you don't. You don't.
Yeah,
but we can sit here all night.
I was just going to say, Marinakis went over to finalise the deal, didn't he, for Louise?
Yeah, him and Edu went. Right, we've gone over the hour mark. We didn't expect this to be hour because we know, Steve got to go to bed early and all that.
It's going to be, obviously Dave and Jamie's watching this now in Australia. It's probably Sunday. That's how long we've been on here for.
I don't know if the panel know. We've got a game on Sunday. So again, we've not even spoke about that at all. So
wouldn't it be funny if we stuff them like 3-0?
That'd be amazing. Before we do, people in the chat, we'll get everyone's score opinion in the chat. What's your score opinion for Sunday's game? Because we have got a game on Sunday. Just thought I'd tell everyone. I'm doing a vlog.
And Mr. Dore, have you had your prediction in by midnight yet?
What time is it?
Yes, you have. I think you have.
I've still got time. People in the chat, what's your score opinion? I'm gonna ask you, Des. What's yours, Des?
No idea. 3-0 to Forest.
Is that the distraction? I love Dan. I love Dan. What you became. Everything's just distracted. That's what I think. That's what Des is doing. It's going to be 3-0, but no, it's going to be 7-0. It's going to be a Sheffield Wednesday 7-0. Dill, what's yours, Dill?
1-1.
That is shocking behaviour. That is shocking.
Why?
Steve, we want no cheating. Still, this is a statement. I'm going to click this. What's yours, Steve?
1-1.
What did I say? I don't know. What did I say? Did I say 2-1?
1-0 Palace, didn't you?
Piss off. I didn't say that. Why did I do that? I didn't say that. Oh.
I don't know why you expect to do score predictions when we can't even predict who the manager is going to be from one day to
another. Can I just say though, this game will test the players and the professionalism to the T, because you got the whole Palace thing, you got this Nuno situation now. So the mindset of these players is going to really test them. And if they come out and they get the double in, then fair play to them, because what's going on behind the scenes and obviously.
Do you know what, Steve? That is the best point you've ever made on DoreOntour. That's the best point you've ever made, because
compliment. Just give him a compliment.
That's what I've been trying to articulate all night, and I've not quite hit the nail on the head. I've articulated many things, but this is the worry. I was going into that game full of confidence that we could go there and win, that we could go there and turn it on like we did last week. And now you just honestly,
that was the best slogan.
We can predict, or we can. You just don't know what's going to happen, because we were going there before today, all in it together. And now you don't know who is with who. You don't know which players on this side, which players on that side, who's Edu, who's Marinakis, who's Nuno, and if anyone, and hopefully they can just do the most professional job they can, get the result, they can reconcile in the week, and we can all get back to it for West Ham, another winnable game. But right now, that is the most worrying thing, is we don't know. It's not just we don't know what's happening with the manager. We don't know. At times like this, you don't know which direction the football club's going next. Whereas it felt like it was going that way.
Before we do go, Alan's gave me a £4.99. Have a comment on me, Mr. Dore. Just leave Marco alone. I'm going to use that £4.99 to go to South London for the jerk chicken. I love the jerk chicken, so I'm scared to go to Paris now to have jerk. Alan, thank you for the £4.99. I was about to give it Des, but stuff Des. He's not having that for £4.99 again. Look, Des getting quiet. We're going to go. Des wants to go to bed.
Just a quick one before we go. Has anybody seen the Gibbs White interview with TalkSport?
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it straight after this.
No, I was looking for it before
I've
I
seen
decided
half,
to come on here.
I've seen half of it.
I think it was a great choice, Des. I think it's a fantastic choice that you took your time to come on the channel. So no. Right, let's keep it real. Des was like a late entrance. While Stephen Dillon was full in, and Des came like back post out of nowhere to get me on. So
Made a later run into the box.
Yeah, came later in back post, Des. But Des, I do appreciate.
I'm like Edu to Dylan's Nuno.
Well, I'll get on with you. I'll get on with you.
Sometimes. Someone's got to deal with Des sometimes. Stefan, don't say Des is 100% spot on. No, he's not. It's not spot on. He's all talks crap. But we've got to deal with Des somehow. But yeah, it's been a great show. Steve, Dylan, and Des, thank you for taking the time for coming on the show. Forest play again. We've got a match on Sunday against Crystal Palace. Des will be there doing his usual before and after. How you getting there, Des?
We need Saturday to recover. We all need Saturday to stay in bed and close the curtains.
Oh, Des, I think we do. I think we got to. But yeah, make sure everyone follows Des on there. Make sure everyone follows Dylan as well. This is the problem with me. I can't even see follow Steve on it.
Hey, do you know what? I've got a prediction for tomorrow. We'll wake up tomorrow morning and John Textor is invested in Nottingham Forest.
Oh, don't piss me off.
That'll be the next thing. Yay! Go down to Palace with him.
John Textor is going to be the manager.
Oh,
yeah, probably.
Glasner.
Wow, that would just top. I think I would just top Palace fans off. Oh my god!
Right, people, it's been a great stream. People, if you have enjoyed the stream, I think it's been a great stream. It's just like a chill, and we are angry, but it's been a nice.
We're not angry. There's more other things in life to worry about.
Des team's angry. Des is tired. Des looks tired. Look at him. He's turning his head now. But yeah, it's been a great.
I'm exhausted with this bloody football club. One game into the season, I'm exhausted.
I think everyone else does. I think everyone else is. But that's been a great show. Make sure everyone likes it, follows everyone on social medias. Make sure follow Des. If you asked them before, make sure Des. Are you wearing your any metal stuff? So no Palace fans pick on you on Sunday. Do you think you'd be okay?
No, I think I'll be. I think I'm big enough and stupid enough to sort myself out.
Okay, yeah, you are stupid enough. I'll agree on that one. But yeah, thank you for everyone as well. If you disagree with everything that Des says, put in the comment section as well with Dylan and Steve. I'll be there tomorrow with the review show with Crystal Palace fan, 9:00. It's been a crazy day. Hopefully, please for us, just let us have praying and do nothing to us tomorrow. I'm begging you, just please.
Hurry up! I want to watch some proper YouTube.
Peace, love, people up the forest.